Live from KTTC, your weather authority, this is KTTC News at 6.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Caitlin Alexander. Tom has the evening off. President Joe Biden now declaring Indigenous Peoples Day a federal holiday for all of the U.S. to celebrate. Our Carly Petras spoke with local Native Americans to get an idea of how this decision impacts them, what it means to them. Carly, what did they have to say?
Well, Caitlin, Indigenous Peoples Day is already an official city and state holiday in various locations, including here in Minnesota. It has been celebrated by Native Americans for decades.
It's time. I don't know how else to say it, but it's time.
Just last year, Governor Tim Walz signed a proclamation to declare the second Tuesday of each October Indigenous Peoples Day in Minnesota. There are 11 tribal nations in the state, including one right here in southeast Minnesota. On Friday, President Biden became the first president to issue an official proclamation commemorating Indigenous Peoples Day.
It uplifts Indigenous people. We are resilient people who have survived assimilation, removal, extermination, and termination, and we're still here. Not only are we here, but we're thriving.
Prairie Island Indian Community President Shelley Buck says this is only the beginning.
We're already starting to see some change, and the change that I've been privileged to be a part of and see firsthand is by electing people that look like me. When you see someone that looks like you doing great things, it's empowering.
Speaking of Native leaders, just this month, Dr. Gwen Westerman was appointed as Minnesota's Poet Laureate, making her Minnesota's first Native in this position. Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan is also of Native American descent. Historian and Lakota native Gary Richards tells me Indigenous Peoples Day originated in South Dakota.
Indigenous Day, I think there should be mainstream programming that informs and lets people that don't go around native tribes and peoples and lands as to actually what's going on here.
The Indigenous people I spoke with actually described this day as a second Thanksgiving. They say they are not trying to rewrite history, but just tell it from their perspective. Back to you.
Thanks, Carly.